Have you ever wondered why some people become noticeably happier and more peaceful after 70, especially when they stop relying so heavily on others? At first, this might sound unusual. We are taught throughout our lives that maintaining a large circle of friends is the only way to stay happy. However, as we age, a significant shift occurs. Many people over 70 discover that true serenity doesn't come from managing a busy social life. It comes from simplifying it. In this video for Senior Health Tips, we will explore 5 vital reasons why you might not actually need a wide circle of friends after 70. We will discuss how letting go of certain social expectations can make your later years feel lighter, freer, and far more tranquil. After retirement, many feel a sense of loneliness and assume the solution is to find new companions. But the truth is, being around people doesn't always cure loneliness. In fact, surrounding yourself with the wrong individuals can drain your emotional energy, leave you feeling misunderstood, or even make you feel more empty than before. Let's begin. Number 1. Emotional independence. After reaching 70, one of the greatest strengths you can develop is emotional independence. Much of our unhappiness often comes from depending on others to make us feel valued or needed. When you were younger, friendships usually revolved around shared work, raising families, or community activities. But as those stages of life pass, those shared experiences naturally change or fade away. Trying to force old connections to stay the same can become emotionally exhausting. At this stage, finding peace within yourself is far more rewarding than seeking it through others. At this stage of life, emotional independence becomes a true gift. It means you no longer require constant validation or attention from others to feel complete. You begin to understand that peace doesn't come from being surrounded by people. It comes from being at peace with yourself. Those who thrive in their 70s and beyond are often those who learn to find comfort in solitude. When you stop depending on others for your happiness, you gain a new kind of freedom. You are free from the disappointment that arises when people fail to call or visit. You are free from the emotional drama that often accompanies maintaining unnecessary relationships. Most importantly, you are free to spend your energy on things that truly nourish you: your health, your hobbies, and your inner peace. There is a quiet strength in learning to be your own companion. You begin to realize that silence is not the same as loneliness. Instead, it is a space for reflection, healing, and self-discovery. The more you learn to enjoy your own company, the less power others have to disturb your tranquility. Being emotionally independent does not mean you stop caring about people. It means you stop sacrificing your mental well-being just to please them. You choose calmness over chaos and clarity over confusion. That deep sense of self-contentment is what keeps your mind youthful and your spirit strong. Number 2. Less stress and drama. After 70, peace becomes far more valuable than popularity. Many older adults make the mistake of thinking they still need to maintain the same number of friendships they had in their 40s or 50s. However, for Senior Health Tips, it is important to recognize that a smaller social circle often leads to a much lower level of stress and unnecessary social pressure. But what many often forget is that every relationship requires a certain level of emotional labor, expectations, and obligations. Sometimes they even bring unnecessary drama. The truth is, friendships can produce as much stress as joy if they are not properly balanced. You may find yourself dealing with people who constantly complain, gossip, or drain your energy with their negativity. Some might even take advantage of your kindness for their own benefit. When you were younger, you might have tolerated these behaviors just to avoid being alone. But at this stage of life, your time and peace of mind are far too precious to be wasted on anyone who does not bring genuine comfort or positivity to your experience. Reducing your circle is not about becoming antisocial. It is about becoming selective. You begin to understand that not everyone deserves access to your mental and emotional space. By stepping away from stressful friendships, you protect your energy, your health, and your happiness. Science supports this shift for Senior Health Tips. Studies have shown that chronic emotional stress can increase inflammation, weaken the immune system, and even accelerate the aging process. In contrast, peaceful solitude helps regulate blood pressure, lowers cortisol, and improves the quality of your sleep. In other words, choosing peace over problematic people isn't loneliness, it is medicine. You will notice that once you let go of unnecessary friendships, your days feel lighter. There is no more pressure to please others or listen to endless negativity. You finally have more time to focus on what truly matters to you. You finally have more time to focus on yourself, your health, your home, your hobbies, and the things that truly matter. This isn't isolation, it is wisdom in practice. If you are finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend subscribing to Senior Health Tips and turning on the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Your support helps us continue creating content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 3, shifting priorities and energy. In your 70s, your body, mind, and soul begin to crave simplicity. You have spent decades giving your time and energy to others, your career, your family, your friends, and your community. But now, your priorities shift. You begin to see that not everyone who walked with you through earlier seasons of life is meant to continue into this one. This realization, while perhaps painful at first, eventually brings deep peace. Once you accept this, you realize your energy becomes much more precious with age. You can no longer afford to waste it on people or situations that offer no joy or growth. Some friendships that once made sense now feel more like an obligation. You may notice that certain people only reach out when they need something, whether it's advice, financial help, or emotional support, but they are rarely there when you need the same. That kind of imbalance slowly wears down your spirit. When you start protecting your time and conserving your emotional energy, you realize how much lighter life feels. You begin to fill your days with activities that truly restore you. You find fulfillment in quiet routines that do not depend on others. This is when the real transformation begins for Senior Health Tips. The people who matter most will remain in your life naturally, without any sense of force. They will respect your peace rather than disturbing it, while others will quietly fade away. This is exactly how it should be. After 70, your goal is not to expand your circle, it is to refine it. You trade quantity for quality. Instead of chasing constant connection, you start cultivating true contentment. You understand that solitude is not a punishment, it is healing. It provides the space for gratitude, self-awareness, and peace. When you no longer try to keep up with everyone, you regain the most valuable thing of all, your clarity. You see what truly matters, and it is rarely found in crowds. It is found in your own heart, in quiet mornings, and in the moments when you realize life is still good, even without constant companionship. Number 4, freedom from social obligation. This is one of the most liberating parts of aging, if you allow yourself to see it. It is the realization that you no longer owe anyone your time. For much of our lives, we live under invisible expectations to attend gatherings, answer every call, maintain every friendship, and always show up. But after 70, your time becomes sacred. You have earned the right to say no without feeling any guilt. You have the right to choose peace over people and to prioritize your well-being over social appearances. There is an enormous difference between being lonely and being free from the weight of social pressure. There is a profound difference between genuine connection and mere obligation. True connection fills you up, while obligation drains you. Many seniors continue to exhaust themselves out of habit, attending events they don't enjoy, listening to complaints they've heard 1,000 times, or forcing small talk just to appear polite. But what if you stopped? What if you allowed yourself to rest, to be selective, and to give your attention only to what nourishes your soul? When you do this, something remarkable happens. Your energy returns. You begin to experience true freedom. You no longer check your phone out of guilt or feel dread when answering calls from people who leave you feeling empty. Instead, your days belong to you again, calm, predictable, and filled with activities that provide joy rather than exhaustion. There is also great wisdom in choosing solitude when most choose noise. Many older adults worry that being alone means being forgotten, but it is actually the opposite. It is reclaiming your power. It is saying, I no longer need to prove my worth through others. This mindset for Senior Health Tips keeps your heart light and your mind strong. Do not be afraid to walk away from people who no longer align with your peace. You don't need to justify your distance. You have given enough in your lifetime. This stage of life is about living on your own terms, quietly, gracefully, and without apology. If you are still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend subscribing to Senior Health Tips and turning on the bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Your support helps us continue creating content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 5, the joy of inner peace. After 70, the definition of happiness begins to change. In younger years, happiness often came from external connections, laughter with friends, dinners, and shared experiences. But at this stage of life, joy takes on a quieter, more profound form. It is no longer about the number of people around you. It is about how you feel when you are by yourself. When you stop chasing friendships that no longer fit, you make room for stillness. That stillness is powerful. You begin to find meaning in simple moments, watching the sunrise, tending to your plants, or listening to the sound of rain. You realize that peace doesn't come from the noise of others. It comes from the calm within. This shift doesn't mean you have given up on people. It means you have learned to appreciate life through a different lens. You see the beauty of independence, the clarity that comes with solitude, and the confidence in knowing you are enough on your own. Your value is no longer tied to who calls you, who visits you, or who remembers you. It is found in your own ability to enjoy the present moment without distraction or expectation. Loneliness and solitude may look similar from the outside, but they feel completely different on the inside. Loneliness is the longing for company that isn't there, while solitude is the fulfillment of being exactly where you need to be. Having it. Solitude is having peace and protecting it. And those who embrace solitude age gracefully because they stop fighting against the natural flow of life. You'll also find that once you stop expecting others to fill your emotional space, you connect more deeply with yourself and with what truly matters. You begin to reflect, forgive, and let go. You discover that real strength isn't in being surrounded by people, it's in being content without them. If you've reached this point, you've arrived at a stage of wisdom. You no longer need approval, attention, or validation. You live gently, love quietly, and find joy in being alive. That's not isolation, that's peace. The kind of peace that only those who've lived long and learned much can understand. Final thoughts. So shouldn't free you. As you grow older, you begin to understand that peace of mind is the greatest luxury. You've carried whole burdens, faced losses, and learned hard lessons. And through it all, you've realized that the quiet life, one with fewer people but more meaning, is the richest life of all. At 70 and beyond, it's not about adding more to your days, but removing what no longer serves your heart. You don't need to prove yourself, chase companionship, or cling to the past. The world still has beauty waiting for you in a sunrise, a song, or the smile of a stranger. You simply have to slow down enough to notice it. If you let go of the need to be surrounded by others and focus on nurturing your own peace, your remaining years will be lighter, freer, and far more fulfilling. Because the truth is, solitude when embraced doesn't diminish your life, it deepens it. It helps you reconnect with your truest self, the one that existed before all the noise, before the expectations, before the world told you who you had to be. You've earned this peace. Protect it. Live simply, love deeply, and never forget that even alone, you are whole. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.